Well, let's move on to Germany, where a German court has postponed its ruling on the impounding of the Thai plane to tomorrow after a German company opposed its release. Christopher Feltner, the vice president of a German court, has revealed yesterday said its ruling regarding the seized Thai Boeing 737, which spewed from the debt dispute case between Walter Ball and Don Mueang Airport, has been postponed to tomorrow. He did not give any details as to why the court has decided to postpone their judgment, except that it wants both sides to present its debate on the matter on Tuesday. The German court will give both Thailand and the German construction firm until 4:49 p.m. Thailand time today and to present their points.
We also have another phone interview with a legal consultant from Brussels, Dr. Alexander Mult, who discussed about the airplane seizure in Germany.
First question, how serious is the Royal Thai aircraft being seized, and how could it impact the Thai-German bilateral relationship?
Well, traditionally, the German-Thai economic and political relations are very strong, and therefore there is no direct impact on the economic ties. However, of course, the seizure of the plane is a symbolic act. And therefore, I think it causes irritations for the relations, which one should not underestimate. There is a certain damage done due to the symbolic of the seizure of the plane.
Right.
But in the long run, I strongly believe that the Thai-German relations are strong enough to continue as they did in the past.
Now, that being said, how can this situation, in your opinion, be resolved amicably with the two countries in order to move forward together?
Well, that's a very difficult question. The legal obligations are actually quite clear. The court in Geneva actually said that Thailand is obliged to pay around 30 million euros to the German company. However, I think in the current context, there's an interest from both sides to actually resolve the issue quite quickly. And therefore, I think there are already signs to ease the situation and to find a solution which would enable both sides to move on. As far as I know, the insolvency administrator already is prepared to cut a deal. He is quite open to negotiations, and I'm sure in this week the negotiations will continue in trying to solve the issue.
Right. Now, since the aircraft belongs to the royal property, not the Thai military, do you think that this is a mistake for the German side to confiscate it?
Let me say it this way. At the moment, it seems like there are certain kind of legal question marks behind the ownership of the plane. If the plane does belong to the royal family, then I think it is a mistake from the German side, and it should be resolved quite quickly. As far as I'm informed, the Thai authorities are already preparing documentation which actually proves that the plane belongs to the royal family.
Right.
Now, in your opinion, assuming if the Thai side wins, do you think that it is possible that the Thai to claim compensation for the damage, and perhaps? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sorry. Short answer, yes. I can only advise, in this case, if this is the case, to claim compensation on this. The administrator is liable for the situation, and therefore there is a supervision's legal liability on this case, and therefore I would only recommend to go.
What about to file a lawsuit against for such incident?
Well, that would be a compensation for damages caused, and therefore, yes, from what I know at the moment, and under the circumstances that the plane belongs to the royal family, I think there are good chances for a legal dispute on this issue.
Well, the Bavarian court in Munich, Germany is due to deliberate last week's seizure of the Boeing aircrafts of the Thai Crown Prince today. Now let's take a look back on the background of this case. On July 14, the Boeing of His Majesty HRH Crown Prince Baha Wachilarongkorn was seized at the German airport in Munich. The insolvency administrator of the German company Walter Ball, Werner Schneider, ordered the seizure of the Boeing used by His Majesty. However, the issue will be resolved. The damage to the bilateral relations is done. Background is a contract between a German construction company Daewoo and the Thai government from the 1990s to construct the Dongmueang Tollway. The insolvency administrator for the Walter Ball Construction Group is demanding over 30 million euros from the Thai government because of a payment that was apparently never received when German construction firm Daewoo helped build the 26-kilometer road. Daewoo merged with Walter Ball in 2001. In 2005, Walter Ball got insolvent and was then partially acquired by an Austrian company. After the construction of the highway, a legal row erupted over, as a result of which the German construction company said contractual obligations have not been met. After years of negotiations, an international court in Geneva awarded Walter Ball 42 million US dollars, or about 1.26 billion baht in compensation, a decision the Thai government rejected. This contractual dispute has now become political and caused bilateral irritations. It goes without saying that legal obligations of contracts have to be fulfilled by all parties concerned. This is a very fundamental principle of legal contracts. However, legal disputes over highly complicated legal construction contracts of such a dimension, like building highways or huge public investment undertakings, are far from being uncommon. Big contracts with governments, authorities over billion investments are often controversial or have to be renegotiated even after the signatures and completion of the projects.
Moving on to Thai politics, PUT's top party list candidate Yingluck Shinawatra and Democrat Party leader Apisit Wechchachiwa are expected to be endorsed as MPs today, according to Election Commission member Somchai Jingprasert. The Election Commission is scheduled to announce a second batch of endorsed MPs today. However, Somchai, who is in charge of election investigations, said it was not certain yet if all other winning candidates would be endorsed. Somchai said that the EC could endorse all poll winners first as MPs and disqualify them later if concrete evidence of legal violations is found. However, many people opposed that, so the decision would also be up to the 4 other EC members. An EC source said the commission was ready to issue 3 more yellow cards and order new elections in Sukhothai, Udon Thani, and Ayutthaya. Last week, the EC endorsed 358 MPs out of the 500 House seats. It also orders a new election for Nong Kha's constituencies too, where Pheu Thai candidate Somkit Bantaisong got the most votes. Yingluck's victories has been opposed because of the alleged involvement of banned politicians such as her brother Thaksin in her election campaign. Apisit, meanwhile, faced claims of alleged abuse of power that he indirectly bought votes because the Commerce Ministry held a trade fair on the day of advance voting. At least 475 MPs are needed for a quorum so that Parliament can convene for a first term. The People's Network for Elections in Thailand, or PNET, yesterday gave feedback to the EC about organization of the July 3rd poll. PNET committee member Somchai Si Suthiyakorn said that the group praised the electoral body for suspending endorsement of Apisit and Yingluck as MPs, but it also voiced some criticisms. Somchai said the EC needed to carefully consider the qualification of all winning candidates before endorsing them. It was better to investigate first and order a new election or disqualify MP candidates that let them become MPs than take legal action once they were in Parliament. If the EC exercised the latter process, there was a risk of people cheating to win the election and getting the most MP seats in the House to form a government first. He says disqualifying MPs would be more difficult than investigating right after the election because that process must be ordered by a court and the case must be finished within a year of the election. Moreover, PNET criticized the EC over several matters of confusion, especially related to absentee voting and vote counting. Peanut urged the Election Commission to provide clarification about errors such as the difference between the ballot cards for constituency MPs and party list MPs. Somchai said the number of eligible voters changed many times from May the 19th to July the 11th in regard to the EC's explanation on the different numbers of ballot cards for constituency and party list MPs. Peanut found no province had 101,681 voters turn out as claimed by the EC. Kattiya Sawadipon, Put's 42nd party list candidate, went to EC headquarters yesterday to acquire the document approving her as an MP. The daughter of the late March General Kattiya, one of the Richard leaders, said becoming an MP was partly a gift from her father. Kattiya shifted from the Kattiyatam party founded by her father to Pheu Thai before the July 3rd election. She said that Kattiyatam party would not merge with Pheu Thai. A new executive of the party would be appointed. She had asked her sister Kittiya to take the party's leader post, but it was uncertain if she would accept it. Meanwhile, the former leader of the New Democracy Party asked the commissioners yesterday to approve him as the party's sole party list MP. Suratin Pishan, the party's former leader and top party list candidate, was disqualified due to bankruptcy. Questions have been raised on whether his approval to file the MP candidates was legal and valid. If New Democracy Party is disqualified, the seat might go to Suwit Kitti, leader of the Social Action Party, which got the next most votes on the party list. Head of New Democracy Party's legal team, Witmon Saramano, said the EC must be responsible for approving the registration of Suratin's party on April 21st.